Well, I think more than anything, there's a couple of things we're trying to accomplish in fall camp. A lot of talk about having a brotherhood here. You know, Sun Devil Brotherhood is a slogan that goes with this program, and that's something that we're really trying to establish throughout training camp. And more than anything, just excited about getting our team back together. I see that part of the deal, if that makes sense. I see that chemistry. I see that unity. I think our guys did a great job in terms of the investment that they put into the summer, a lot of that being voluntary. I think they spent quality time together. We've made tremendous progress as a team. And I was really just looking forward to getting back together as a group, and you could see that they've made tremendous progress.
So it's been practice. Obviously, you're a first-year coordinator, a lot of first-year assistants. You have to go through some, learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
Things go smoothly the first day of fall camp compared to the first day of spring.
Yeah, we're a different football team in terms of our knowledge, relevant. The challenge is where we're at is acquiring the knowledge that goes with learning our system, and then you get into defensive recognition and then playing smart in situations in the game. And we really go back and teach our system 4 times. This will be the 4th time that our kids have installed the system. If you think about tour of duty, that maybe even could be considered a time where we install. So spring ball, summer 1, we go back and repeat in summer 2, and then this will be the 4th time. So we made tremendous progress with our players this summer. We met with them 3 times a week for 25 minutes. It was extremely beneficial. And we're a lot further ahead, and you can see that. I think our guys are playing faster because they know what they're doing. Knowledge allows you to play with more speed and more fast, and when you're comfortable, you can cut it loose and go play to the standard. So you can see that we've done that this summer. Well, I mean, I really, if you think about it, Manny had some success as a player when he played, in particular early. They really had it going. So Manny has experience here. He is, relative to our roster, he's the most experienced quarterback. He is the returning starter. But we do have competition, I'm new. I think with his injury, other guys playing, we've got other guys that have experience. We got other guys that are very capable. And I think that competition and kind of presenting that situation to that room and that unit makes every one of those guys better. So we're further along, in terms of making that decision. We've got a long way to go. This is kind of the next phase in the journey. But I think we've got capable people in that room, and it's going to be exciting to watch those guys compete as we go forward. Right. Well, I think anytime you get significant experience, I really believe when a guy has his first year of significant experience in terms of playing time, he goes into that offseason with a totally different approach. He knows what it's going to be like when he runs out of the tunnel and plays in that first game. So I think that maturity, I've been there. I kind of know what it's going to be like. My preparation is totally different than maybe it was when I was unsure of what was going to happen. So he's taken ownership. I think he's trying to lead in the correct ways. I think there's some maturity there as a person. And he's a fun guy to coach. I think he's an intelligent guy. He's very capable. He's got a lot of tools that can allow him to play well. So it's going to be a heck of a battle, man. And it's going to be fun to be a part of that. Well, that's one of the lessons that I think he's learned. When you go back and look at the film, there's a certain aggressiveness that you don't want to take away from the guy, but I think it's playing those situations smart and kind of seeing it from 1,000 feet away and saying, hey, big picture here, where do I take those calculated risks? Where are we in the game in terms of when I do rush the ball or I break the pocket, how I manage myself from a health standpoint. I think he learned that last year. Well, both guys, you know, the system is comprised of a little bit of the past, even, you know, not only with Chip but Mike, you know, and then also the things that we brought as a staff, not only myself but the rest of the new staff on offense. So it's kind of a conglomeration of a lot of different systems. We went back and cleaned it up. We made it very teachable for our players. So each guy was behind a little bit in certain areas, if that makes sense. So I think you saw Blake was a little bit more comfortable with certain things in the spring. Same thing with Blake. Now they've both caught up, and they both made progress, and both had quality days today. We know anytime you walk off that practice field for the first time, there's tons of room for improvement. But in general, today was a quality day. Well, I don't think we turned it over, so it's always and that's the objective, right? We want to own the ball, put a tremendous emphasis on that. We know that's the number one statistic relative to playing winning football. I think in the Pac-12 last year, it was worth about 3.5 points. You know, every time you turn the ball over, you give the other team 3.5 points. So we make a huge emphasis on that part, and it was good to do that well today. Right. Well, the one negative of today was that we didn't have shoulder pads on. And we'll figure that out as we go. But that's the identity that we're trying to create. That's another one of the objectives for training camp. You know, we want to establish the toughness that we're going to play with and the discipline relative to undisciplined penalties, eliminating mental errors, and playing winning football. And both of those are key parts of the equation. Absolutely. You know, I think when you've had to go through a game week and prepare, and it's been real to you that, hey, I'm going to have to go out there and represent my team, that takes you to another level in terms of maturity. So we've got 4 guys that have walked out there and represented the football teams in terms of being a starter, and that's a unique deal, and we're thankful and blessed to have that situation. Yeah, well, Caelen's a unique guy in that he's capable of hitting a home run every time he touches it. You know, he's got the ability to finish plays. You know, he can hit the home run. He's got finishing speed. But at the same time, the guy's 227 pounds. And he's an intelligent guy. That's one of the things that's really impressed me about him. I think he's capable of handling a big volume of things, and that's going to prove beneficial for everybody as we go forward. We're going to try to use that guy in a lot of different ways. Well, I think that's one of the areas. Probably the summer is probably the time of the year where the quarterback and the offensive line can make the most progress. You know, those 2 positions in particular are guys that have to be students of the game. They've got to communicate well. They've got to have a complete understanding of what we're trying to accomplish as a unit. So I think they've made tremendous progress in the summer, not only from a mental standpoint, but I think we're in better condition. I think we're stronger. We met with each one of those guys individually, gave them some goals for the summer. They accepted that challenge, and they've made tremendous progress. So we'll know more when we put the pads on, and I'll have a little bit better feel of where they're at after we go watch this practice film later today.